I happened to scroll past an advertisement for what looked like quite an interesting conference on AI in medicine, focused on imaging in particular. And I don't want to bash these conferences. There's a lot of great academic work out there that should be shown to the broader community. Unfortunately, there's also a component of these conferences that is commercial, and not every company is the same. Some companies have done phenomenal work and are creating amazing products. I've seen it firsthand. And some are frankly peddling digital snake oil. And what I find upsetting is that the people making the decisions about what to buy and what should be moved on and who should get investments, frankly, don't have the tools to understand who is selling a real product and who is peddling digital snake oil. For those of you not from the States, snake oil is essentially, it's a euphemism for someone who is practicing chicanery at best, deceptive, profiteer, and people who are making decisions about what to buy, they came up in sort of the analog age. They are not digital natives, and they certainly, in most cases, do not know how to program a computer and do not know how to program a computer to do statistical analysis. So in the hope that I can make the world a better place and spare us all some snake oil, I'm going to give some hints for people who don't want to code about how they can at least take a look and instruct someone who does code to take a look at some of these products. Because my biggest fear is that because there's so much snake oil, people will simply give up. They will say, okay, AI is just some weird technology dream that doesn't work, because they don't understand the technology. But it's not true. You just have to be able to separate out what is working from what isn't. So without further ado, I'm going to go over some tips. My first tip would be to think about the mechanism of whatever product you're looking at. Just think about the mechanism if you're a doctor. If someone tells you that a product that is based on an artificial neural net with pictures of people's ears can measure someone's temperature, be suspicious. Think about this logically. What in the way someone's ear looks tells you about their temperature? That's a product that deserves more suspicion than something that you know very well can be done, like say something that classifies radiological images based on an artificial neural net into 10 or 12 pathologies. That has been done. But someone tells you they have a novel artificial neural net that's going to look at the shape of the ear and measure a temperature, well, I would automatically look a little bit more closely. This may sound like an absurd example, but I actually tripped across someone who believed in such things, peddling them in industry more than once. My second tip would be to just ask for some data. Do not assume that because something has the CE mark or the FDA mark, it is actually any good. I'm sorry to say the CE and FDA over the years have let several products slip through the cracks and get on the market that have been an absolute disaster. It's a whole different episode. But you know, I believe even Theranos have one thing FDA approved, and Theranos isn't the only med tech company that is basically engaged in deceptive behavior. So if you can get it, just ask for the raw data yourself. Obviously, a company that is out to deceive you will not let you have the raw data, but some companies are not trying to deceive people. They simply don't have staff with the analytical skills to even know how well their product is working. It happens. My third tip would be that if you can get the raw data or not, you need to take data and analyze it without any assumptions. So let's talk about the worst case scenario. You try and get raw data out of one of these companies and they say no for various reasons, patient confidentiality, whatever, we can't de-anonymize the data and we can't give it to you. Say, great, I'll take your product and test it myself and analyze the data. Or maybe they gave you some data. Don't analyze it with the assumption that it works. I've seen this happen many, many times. People either were given data or they take data themselves and they say, okay, let's see if there's any accuracy here. What is the precision? What is the accuracy? They don't go the step before and say, do my values here correlate at all? If you are measuring something within a small range, you can be fooled by randomness. You could be having a lot of values that are simply based off noise, and you could perceive it to be a product that is just inaccurate because all of the values are falling in that range. So let's do something concrete here. Let's imagine you get a product that says, I have an artificial neural net that based on a picture of someone's face can tell you their age. So you get the real ages, you take the pictures and get the computed ages. Don't bother calculating things like accuracy and precision until you run a regression and see that there's any correlation at all. Run a linear regression in that case. In other cases, you'll want to run a logistical regression. These are basic statistical tests that people tend to leap over because they're working on the assumption that a product works. Not every product works, and plenty of companies are making millions peddling digital snake oil.